It is 6 o'clock. I call this special called board meeting to order. Dr. Salazar, do we have anyone here to help us with the pledge tonight?
We don't have students here, but I'd be happy to help.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. If everyone could please stand. If you could remain standing for a moment of silence. You may be seated. Mr. Castillo, could you please take roll?
Yes, Madam Chair. Ms. Sandra Garcia.
Present.
Mr. Ruben Trevino is not here. I am here. Martin Castillo. Ms. Leticia Quintero.
Present.
Mr. Jesus Amaya.
Present.
Mr. Donald Henderson.
Present.
Dr. Gonzalo Salazar.
Thank you. Item number 5 on the agenda is public comment. Okay. So even up. Okay, we did have someone sign up, but they will be presenting in executive session, Mr. Cavazos, so we will see you later. Item number 6 is public hearing. Dr. Salazar, I'll turn it over to you.
Mrs. Garcia, members of the board, this evening we're presenting information on the optional flexible school day program. The optional flexible school day program rules and regulations are spelled out in Chapter 29 of the Texas Education Code. We do this public hearing once a year to comply with some of those requirements, and our Executive Director for Support Services, Mrs. Ada Amaro, will take us through that presentation. Mrs. Amaro.
Thank you, Dr. Salazar. Ms. Garcia, members of the board, and Dr. Salazar, this evening, one of our agenda items is we're seeking approval to apply for optional flexible school day program, and this is what we run at our CCTA program here in our district. So one of the requirements is that we have a public hearing before we apply or send this application over to the state. So today, once again, we will go over our intent to apply for optional flexible school day program and our performance results. We want to give an overview of how our program did this past school year. So to be eligible, we're going to start with what is the eligibility of students, or for our district to participate in optional flexible school day program. So what it states is that this program is available for at-risk students who are at risk of dropping out, those who have been denied credit and who need credit. Sometimes they're behind in credits, so this is an opportunity for them to gain some credits in this program. They also, in order for us to apply for this, we must be an approved early college high school, or it must be a student who's attending and implementing an approved innovative campus plan. That is not what we're applying under. What we are is a community-based dropout recovery education program. So that's what CCTA is running right now, a dropout recovery education program. And also we accept students who are less than 18 years of age and not emancipated by marriage or court order, and the student's parent or person standing in parental relation to the student agree in writing to the student's participation. So what we do right now to be eligible is for students who need more than 2 credits and can graduate with their cohort by August. So what we're trying to do, the goal at CCTA, is to ensure that our students are gaining credits and they're able to graduate, if not in May, then in the summer graduation, which is in August. Most of our students that are going through the optional flexible, what we do is they submit an application at their campus, either at LFU or Los Presos High School. And most of the students who are taking have extenuating circumstances, either their parents, their health-related issues, or they must work and they're only going to school for half days. Some of them have mental health. Some of them are runaways. And our only way to bring them into school is offering this opportunity of a flexible schedule. So some of them go in for 3 hours, 4 hours, depending on what their schedule and their needs are. So with attendance right now, they are required. It's not like a regular high school where they have to be there at second period or by 10 o'clock or go every period. It's a minimum of 45 minutes a day and cannot exceed 10 hours of instruction in one day. So every time they sign in, and it's by minute by minute, we take and sign in and sign out, and our administration or secretary convert that into minutes. And that's what needs to be submitted over to our PEMS department. This year we had 93 students enrolled in CCTA. So it's at one period of time we do not have 93 students in the program, because what happens is we might get 20 at 8 o'clock, and then by 10:30, 5 or 10 leave, but then another 15 come in, depending on the schedule that they have. Some of them, like I said, have jobs or have children that they need to take care of and then come in a little later. So we have some goals that we've established for CCTA, and for this coming year we're going to extend the times available to attend school. So it's not an 8 to 4 following the schedule of a high school. We're extending it 8 to 6, so some of our teachers will have flexible schedules. Some of them will come in on a Saturday from 8 to 12. For those students who can't come in on a Saturday because maybe they don't work, then that will be available from 8 to 12. Somebody will be there working with them and also getting some credits. So our total hours that our CCTA will be open will be 54 hours weekly. Our goal, too, is starting with students and getting some post-graduation industry-based certifications. Dr. Chambers is working very closely with Mr. Guerra, our CTE director. This coming year, we're looking at international academies of emergency dispatch. These are our 911 operators. We have some students who are interested, and that's one way to get them into the program. You know, you need to come into optional flexible, be here, and you get an opportunity to get one of the certifications as well. So not only are they working on academics, but also on certification. That's coming in, next year. But this school year, we did have our welding program. Here, students had to stay after school, or sometimes like at 3 o'clock is when that class will start. We will take them over to the high school, and they will start working there with Mr. Gamboa in the welding program. We had 9 students who received certification in welding. So they're ready to proceed and go to TSTC and continue the program there. So this year we had 9 students who completed their full certification there at the high school. Our goal 3 is using our data to measure the students' weaknesses and strengths, also looking at end of course and examinations for graduation. So what we're doing right now is we're tracking, this is just an example of what they're doing, the teachers, the counselors, administration, is tracking their progress and their academics. They're using a program called Edgenuity, and with Edgenuity, the goal is that as soon as the student walks into that door, the goal is that you're working from 20 to 25% of that content area. If you're there for 4 hours, then you must finish and complete 20 to 25%. It gives us a good view of maybe students come in, and if they're only working at 3%, that's where conversations start. You're here 4 hours, 3%, how can we help you? And it's also an accountability for our teachers, so they can see that, okay, a student only showed up, he's been here for 4 hours and only 3%. We need to start having those conversations with teachers, with students, and engaging them into their academics and ensuring that they're getting at least 20 to 25. What I've seen if I walk through or gone in to visit our CCTA department is that students are speaking that language and saying and meeting those goals. I'm at 20%, I'm at 15%. So they're speaking that academic and holding themselves accountable to knowing how much progress have I done in a content area. So that's been something they've been working on this school year, and I'm glad to hear the students are speaking that language and holding themselves accountable for it. And the next goal 4 is graduation. We want to ensure that they're graduating, and we're looking at this. I know that other campuses, our high school campuses, have this graduation progress sheet. So what they're doing is they're monitoring, and every time they complete a course, they go over to the counselor and they say, I've completed the course, can you send this over to the high school so that I can get credit? They fill in their card and they can see, what am I pending? What's my next content area that I need to work on? So teachers, students, counselors, our high school counselors as well are working together to ensuring that the students are not only meeting their content, but also the end of course. Like in this sample, we can see that this student already passed biology, algebra, English, end of course, or they're pending English 2 and U.S. history. So they have a goal of what they're working towards, and they can visualize or see this more for their own use. So graduation, 2020, 2021, 22. In May, we had 30 students from CCTA who graduated during our May ceremony. Right now, we have 31 students who are in I know summer school's over, but they're still working. We're offering them that opportunity to continue to earn some credits till the end of July. Right now, for sure, out of the 31, 11 students are completed, so they will walk in August, and we're working with those 20 students so they can complete by August and also can graduate. We don't know how many of those 20, but they're very close to completing all their coursework. And that's all I have.
The optional flexible school day statute, established in statute I think it was the 85th session of the legislature, Senate Bill 1187, and the only requirement in the first year, and I'm gonna tell you what era. All we had to do was fax in a form. We don't fax anything anymore, but so we've been participating in optional flexible school day program for quite some time, and it's had a very positive impact on our completion rate, but more importantly in the lives of all those kids, 30 kids who would not have otherwise graduated. It allows us to work with their schedules and the challenges of all of the sometimes adult problems that kids sometimes face when they are high school age. And it has been we have had to be very careful. There's a program that allows me to come when I can. You know, things can get turned around. So there's a committee that has to decide when kids qualify to go to the CCTA, and there are times when kids are denied. Sometimes they go, they catch up with their cohort, and they're sent back to the high school. Other times, kids just need to finish, get their credits, and move on. But they will. The incentive is that they will graduate with a Los Fresnos high school diploma, not a separate diploma. And Mrs. Amaro has been heading the committee that I just described for
And sometimes what students need is just they need a different setting because they can't perform in that high school setting and that structure. They need their own time, their own place, and it's worked.
Does anybody have any questions? And because it is a public hearing, anybody from the audience is also welcome to ask any questions. If you have any questions, please let us know and approach the podium. Thank you, Ms. Amato. Do we have a graduation date yet for?
We're looking at August 25th. Yes. The 25th of August for fall graduation.
Thank you. We move on to item number 7, the action items. The first item is to discuss and take action to approve the Los Fresnos CISD intent to apply for the optional flexible school day program for the 2022-2023 school year. Do I have a motion from the board? Mr. Maya?
Madam Chair, I move that we take action to approve the Los Fresno CISD intent to apply for the optional flexible school day program for the 2022-2023 school year.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second on the motion? Mr. Castillo? Are there any questions or discussion on the motion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, please raise your hand. The motion passes unanimously. Item number 2, discuss and take action to award agreements, contracts for CSP number 21-22-38. This is the Rancho Viejo Elementary Rancho Verde Elementary HVAC upgrades. Do I have a motion from the board? Mr. Castillo?
Motion to approve it.
Do I have a second on the motion? Ms. Quintero will second. Are there any questions or discussion on the motion? There being no discussion, all those in favor to approve, please raise your hand. The motion passes unanimously. Item number 3 is to discuss and take action to award extension of agreements, contracts for tile and maintenance repairs and related services. This is CSP number 20-21-39 for the 2022 through 2023 school year. Do I have a motion? Mr. Henderson?
I move to take action to award the extension of agreement contract for title and maintenance repair and related service for CSP 2021-39 for the 2022-2023 school year.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second on the motion?
I'll second.
Mr. Castillo will second. Are there any questions or discussion on that motion? There being no questions, all those in favor, please raise your hand. The motion passes unanimously. Item number 4 is to discuss and take action to award an agreement or contract for pre-purchased HVAC equipment replacements at Lopez Riggins Elementary, Las Yescas Elementary, Villarreal Elementary, and the District Service Center for the Texas Purchase Co-op vendor ICM. Do I have a motion? Mr. Amaya?
Yes, Madam Chair, I move that we take action to award agreement / contracts for the pre-purchase HVAC equipment replacement at Lopez Riggins Elementary, Las Yescas Elementary, Villarreal Elementary, and the District Service Center to the Texas Purchase Co-op vendor ICM.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second on the motion? Ms. Quintero will second. Are there any questions or discussion from the board? There being no questions, all those in favor, please raise your hand. The motion passes unanimously. Item number 5, discuss and take action as necessary to approve application for expedited and general state waivers. Do I have a motion? Mr. Castillo?
Motion to approve it.
Do I have a second on the motion? Ms. Quintero will second. Are there any questions on that motion? There being no questions, all those in favor, please raise your hand. The motion passes unanimously. Item number 6, discuss and take action as necessary to add and revise local policies as recommended by Cifd Policy Service in accordance with District of Innovation Plan to be adopted in the first reading. Do I have a motion? Mr. Amaya?
Yes, Madam Chair. I move that we take action to add and revise local policies as recommended by Cifd Policy Service in accordance with District of Innovation Plan to be adopted in the first reading.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second? Mr. Henderson will second. Do I have any questions on that motion or discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, please raise your hand. The motion passes unanimously. Item number 7, discuss and take action to approve the superintendent's personnel recommendations for the following positions for the 2022-2023 school year. We have teachers, dean of instruction, elementary principal, principal for Los Fresnos United, and an executive director. Do I have a motion from the board? Ms. Quintero?
I motion to approve item number 7.
Do I have a second? Mr. Castillo? Do I have any discussion or questions from the board? There being no discussion, all those in favor, please raise your hand. The motion passes unanimously. I know we have some in the audience. We'd like to welcome you. We have a lot of 10 teachers that we had on the list. Do we know how many are here? Is Ms. Anaya here? Okay.
On the list, but the principals are here representing the campuses. We do have one of the principal candidates, 2 of the principal candidates with us.
We want to welcome you to the Los Fresnos family. If you're not already here, I know. I know we do have some that are already Falcons that are joining us, and then we have some who are not. But welcome aboard. We're happy to have you here. And at this time, we go on to item number 8, which is closed session pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, including but not limited to 551.074. It is 6:22. It is 5:27. We are back from closed session. 7:27. 7:27. And at this time, I'll take any motions that were discussed in closed session. Mr. Maya?
Madam Chair, I move that we amend the superintendent's contract to read, in part, the superintendent shall receive the same salary increase percentage, if any, approved by the board as a general salary increase for the district's administrators.
Do I have a second on the motion? Mr. Henderson will second. Any questions? There being no questions, all those in favor, please raise your hand. The motion passes unanimously. That is all that we have to discuss from closed session. Sir, do you have any announcements?
Just going to say, members of the board, just one announcement. We have a special called meeting on Friday, so we're going to be together again Friday at 9 o'clock.
And thank you for everyone who is able to attend. I know that's a tough meeting, but we have a lot of things to do in the next few days. Yeah, well, if you haven't, it is 7:28, and I adjourn this meeting.